So my starter solenoid decided to shit the bed, but thankfully I'm at the parts store. Nice. Well, it wasn't the starter solenoid. Normally, when you you turn the key and it just clicks, it's the starter solenoid. The starter solenoid's clicking, and this is with the new solenoid. So it's not the starter solenoid, and I've been trying to get a tow truck out here for probably like 2 hours to come pick me up, and I finally got through to one. So yeah, it'd be nice to have dinner at some point tonight. At least I'm not in the middle of the desert, you know, baking in the sun. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today what we're going to be doing is, I believe we're going to be replacing the starter on the orange truck here. So I was at the parts store the other day picking up some front brake parts for the black truck there, because I got to do brakes and, you know, pads and rotors and stuff on there. And I went to leave and, you know, turned the key, and all I was getting was a click, right? So I'll demonstrate that now. So this is kind of the same. Well, it's not really actually the same. The Bronco, all right, we weren't getting anything when we turned the key when I first, you know, got that truck running last year. You turn the key, you get absolutely nothing. This one I do get a click. So what I ended up doing, I'll just show you guys right now what we're dealing with. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Well, the truck's running. I'm not going to call that fixed though, because I just tried it a second ago, but I ended up messing up the video clip, and now is my fender dented in, or is that just the sun? No, it's just the sun. I just tried it a second ago before I started recording, and the truck wouldn't start. I was just getting a click. I think I just heard some really weird freaking noise underneath there too. Sounded like something. I don't know, I'm gonna see if it'll start again. Hang on. I wasn't expecting it to start, because I had just tried it a second ago, and I was just getting a click up here at the solenoid. I replaced the solenoid right over there while I was at the parts store, because I already had one in the glove box, and I was like, well, let me just see if it's this. I'm just gonna replace it. I honestly didn't even bother testing it, which I probably should have done, but I replaced it, it didn't work, so I just ended up getting it towed home. I wonder what that noise was though. See if it'll start again. Well, it's running again. There's like a, I don't know, some mechanical noise under there that usually I don't hear. Huh. I can't exactly tell where it's coming from. Huh. Well, I think that my starter is having some issues. I don't know. It wasn't working before. I tried it last night as well. Wasn't working. I was just getting a click, and like I just said before I recorded this last clip, I was just getting a click out of it. So anyway, the deal is, at this point, the starter's working right now, but that doesn't mean that it's going to continue to keep working. But since the starter is working, we know that it's not anything else, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't, but since the starter did work, I think that it's just really, really weak and really old. I think it was probably frozen up or sticking or something. So yeah, I was going to go through the whole process of, you know, breaking out the multimeter and diagnosing everything, but we know that power is getting to the starter, so there's really nothing else it could be, which is strange. Okay, well, I'm gonna go buy a new starter. I'm not gonna bother pulling the other one out. I don't really care about the core charge. I think it's only like $10 back or whatever, so I'd rather just keep this starter as a backup maybe, because it is kind of working. So I'm going to go into buying a new starter and we're going to swap it out. Yeah. Huh. Wasn't expecting this truck to run. Okay, we're going to go buy a new starter now. Because the whole thing is, I'm going to be taking this truck to New York in like 3 days for the Adirondack Nationals car show. And I can't enter it in the show because it's too new. You have to be like a 79 or earlier to even enter in the show. And obviously this truck is a 96. So I can't enter it in the show, but I can at least cruise it out there, you know. So here, listen to this. Listen to this, right? This, I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to shut it off. All right? Listen closely. You're going to hear the starter is still engaged. Hear that? So yeah, this starter is on its absolute last leg, because you can hear, I don't think it's letting go. It's supposed to, it engages the flywheel and then it's supposed to let go of the flywheel. I don't think it's letting go, because when I shut it off, it was still spinning like it was still attached to the flywheel. So, starter's definitely a little bit buggered. Okay, let's go buy a new one. Hey, get off the door. Hey, move. Move, I got your water. Move it. Move it. Hey. Here you go, have water. You're standing on the food bucket. I can't feed you if you're standing on the food bucket. Well, looks like this thing's been sitting on the shelf for a while. I guess not a lot of people need these starters. There we go. That should help us out. So I think what's going on in the new one, this is supposed to move forward and backward to engage with the flywheel and then disengage with the flywheel. I think that ours is like stuck forward or something because of that sound that we were just hearing a minute ago. But this should help us out. And you can see here too, I've got this truck's always had a pretty bad rear main seal leak. So that bottom bolt there is just caked with old grease. But I guess that stops it from, you know, it should be pretty easy to get it off, you know, or old oil, I mean. Keep it nice and corrosion free, you know. So these bolts are actually pretty easy to get to. It's just these two. It's just this one here. And then the other one's right there. So it's actually pretty easy to get this out. And it looks like I can, looks like I'll be able to just fit it right out past these transmission lines here. Getting a little old, but they still look all right. On the, you know, that's the one thing that's good about having, you know, a lifted truck or whatnot. I don't gotta jack it up or nothing. I was trying to get the starter out of the old 86 Firebird that I had. And, you know, the exhaust was all in the way and everything too, but there was no freaking way to get that thing out of there without without actually removing the exhaust on that car. This one looks like we got plenty of space to work in there, so that's good. So this one, all right, this kind of smaller one, you're not supposed to take the nut out of here. You're actually supposed to just replace, like right here, you can see it's heat shrinked. The new one comes with a wire. You're supposed to heat shrink and crimp the new one to the old one. And then this one, we're gonna end up taking off. And the other one is not connected to the truck. It's just connected from the top of the starter to the bottom of the starter. So like this like solenoid thing on top and then the bottom part. So that stays on. So we're just gonna really undo this one, and then we're gonna end up just snipping this one and crimping it into the new, right onto the new starter. So everything else is standard sizes. This is actually a 13 millimeter on this one, and I believe on the new one, I think the nut's actually like a 14 or a 15, but on this one it's a 13. I might hit that with a little bit of PB Blaster just to maybe, I don't know, I'll try it without it first. I don't really feel like breaking it, but it doesn't really matter if I break it. Also, I did disconnect the battery before I did all this. I didn't show that, but I did disconnect the battery, so. Just give that a minute, see if I can loosen it up a little. That's really the only one that doesn't want to come off super easy. All the big ones, like I said before, they had a thick layer of old engine oil on them, so they were pretty lubed up to begin with. Flywheel looks good. You guys probably can't really see in there too much, but I don't see any problems with the flywheel, so you know, just a good thing to check, I guess. While we already are in here, we could look at it. But I'm gonna give that a minute to soak and then come back at it. Just try not to break those wires off of there, because that would be a whole different problem. Alright, we got the old one out. I don't really see any glaring issues with it. You know, it seems to be functioning just like the other one does, you know. No real obvious problems, you know, none of the teeth are all messed up or anything like that. But yeah. This one does seem, you know, a little bit tighter. This one does spin like really loose. So I don't know, maybe it's a little bit worn. It doesn't really look too bad though, overall. I wouldn't really look at this and say, oh, it's a bad starter, but you know, it's clearly not working properly. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the new one in. So this is the one I was talking about before. It says do not remove, crimp, and heat shrink. So that's the one that we ended up cutting right here. So we're gonna, thankfully I have some heat shrink and whatever else. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And then this one here, because it actually goes on like this top one here, you know, it's pretty much just putting it back in the same way that it came out. But yeah, we're gonna do that now. We don't got to do any shims or anything like that. You know, some old cars and whatnot, you got to shim the starter and all that other crap, but you don't have to do that with this one. You can just bolt it right back up and hook your leads and everything all back up. I'm gonna go make sure I have some oh, look at that, they included heat shrink for me, so I just need to remove this little tag here. That's a nice touch. They actually gave me heat shrink, so I can actually use the included heat shrink, so that's nice of them. Please call our ASE certified technicians. Nope, not doing that. Too windy. Come on now. There we go. Come on now. It's too windy for this friggin' lighter. Guess I'll have to get something bigger. I'm actually going to clean that off a little bit. It's a little bit corroded. Get my brush and give that a quick scrub-a-doo. So when you're putting it back in, this, you know, the big main wire here has to be all the way to the right. If you have it all the way to the left, like See how it's turned like this? If you have it this way, it's the wire is not going to be long enough to be able to reach the top bolt hole. So you got to put it like that. So the bolts are snug now. I couldn't find in the Haynes manual any torque specs for these. I was looking around online. Looks like 20 foot-pounds is probably good. They weren't on super tight when I took them off. Like, they were pretty much like, you know, just snugged up. So 20 foot-pounds is probably a good number for those, just to give them a little extra tightness. You could put some blue thread locker on there. I don't have any. I'm not going to, so that's kind of why I'm going to torque them up. Okay. So, moment of truth. We're going to go ahead and reconnect the battery here. And hopefully it starts. I don't remember what size I was using for that. Maybe I left it up here. It is getting like really freaking windy today. Something small. Some small size here. Alright, I gotta find that. Get that snugged up. Alright, let's go give this a whirl. See if I broke anything. You know, when I started this video, we had a working truck, you know. Alright. Look at that! Let's see if it still makes that weird noise. Nope. Seems like it's I can definitely tell this starter sounds a lot healthier than the other one. It sounds a lot healthier than the other one. When I shut it off, it kind of, you know, it doesn't make that noise that the other one was making. Ow, I just walked into that. All right, I'd say we're fixed. That was pretty easy. It really only took me, if I wasn't trying to record everything, it probably would have just taken me probably an hour. Maybe it took me about an hour and a half or so, since I was trying to, you know, record everything and everything like that. But that's actually a really easy starter to have to change out. That was a really simple, you know, a lot simpler than I figured it would be, because like I was saying earlier in the video, if I even leave that part in, you try to replace a starter on a 3rd gen Trans Am, and you cannot, there is no space in there for your hands or nothing until you take the exhaust off. So, all right, I'm gonna call that fixed. So anyway, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. If you guys you know, maybe you learned something, maybe you liked watching me struggle, make sure to leave a like on this video. And I was originally this week going to be doing a video on the Bronco. As you can see, all my rear axle parts and everything are all down there on the ground. I had to end up ordering some new stuff for it because, well, you know what? Maybe one of you guys will know. Maybe one of you guys will know. So this guy here, all right, this is the rear drive shaft. Okay, right there where the slip joint thing is. This is all cracked and corroded. This is right where the CV head goes in. So if you guys have ever done one of these Bronco drive shafts, I don't know if they even make these things anymore, these little boots. That's kind of what I'm waiting on. I'm trying to figure out, you know, where to get one of those. Apparently, after like calling around and asking around, you can buy like the new I guess it's a repair kit for this guy right here, for this CV ball head thing. Apparently that, like the repair kit for that, this is obviously a brand new part here. apparently the repair kit for that comes with this little rubber guy. I don't know if that's true or not. I ordered one. I also had to order some other, I couldn't get those freaking clips out, these guys. I mean, this is all gonna be in another video. I ended up damaging some of my pieces here. You see, I completely just, you know, ended up cracking this off. So I ended up buying a new one of these. I ended up buying a new, you know, one of something else. So I'm waiting on drive shaft parts, basically, because I broke the other ones when I was taking them apart. They're just so brittle and they just snapped. So yeah, that's I was gonna make a Bronco video this week, but I gotta wait for those parts to come in. I don't feel like putting those back in since they're snapped, and you put the little ring on them. Then at some point, the little, you know, the little seat clip thing could just go flying off, and then I lose a U-joint, and I don't really feel like having to deal with that. So I just ordered new pieces just to make it easier. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Orange truck runs, if you ask me. It is ready for a 350 mile or so road trip in the next 3 days. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you guys all for anyway, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.